Hey there, and welcome to Prompt Responses, the companion to my blog, This Side of the Apple. I'm Shonda Renee, and I am just here to read. Simple as that. These are my real, unfiltered responses to prompts that pull a little something real from inside. Sometimes they're personal, sometimes a little poetic, sometimes a little raw. Each episode is short, but the heart behind them runs deep. So thanks for stopping by, and let's get into it. But before we get into it, I just want to preface this one by saying that this piece took me all day to write. I didn't finish it until midnight. And that was because I really wanted to capture how I was feeling in this moment. I wrestled with the fear that I've been feeling, and I have to admit that there is fear. But I also looked back at times when I was afraid, and I realized that I don't back down from fear. I always face my fears. I don't know what is going to come within the next few years in this country, but I hope to continue to rise to that and face my fears. I think about this blog and how I'm revealing myself and my thoughts, and I'm concerned, but I'm compelled to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you for listening to this part. We'll move on to the post now. Today's prompt is, what public figure do you disagree with the most? And the title of my response is Unpresidential. I don't think I need to name the person, but here's a hint. I live in the United States of America. We have a leader who shall remain nameless and who embodies none of the leadership qualities truly necessary to hold the office of president in the manner in which it was intended: to uphold the Constitution and to be representative of and work in the favor of all citizens of this land, regardless of who they voted for, regardless of race, and regardless of socioeconomic status. I can only look at his behavior as presented from media sources like Fox News, MSNBC, and CNN, as well as social media sources. Like millions of regular citizens, I can only make assessments based on what I see through those outlets and how those decisions and orders affect us and the people around us. Clearly, I am no political insider, nor any sort of pundit paid to write with academic expertise on political things. But what I am is a citizen of a country that educated me to understand the Constitution and how the three separate branches of government serve as checks and balances among themselves. I understand that banning books is wrong, Hitler and Nazis are bad, and slavery and racism are the original sins committed by the European immigrant settlers of this country. Outside of school, I came to understand that I had to navigate individuals and institutions that stood in direct opposition to the values I was taught formed the foundation of America, something many others never had to confront. I had to wrestle with my own identity within my own community because of the negative ideology so deeply embedded into our collective psyche. It seems to act on its own, undermining my right to exist, even among those who look like me. My soul hovered alone in darkness, even while my body moved mechanically through the motions, staying in the periphery, seeking out jobs that felt like temporary safe houses. Just enough safety, just enough skill building, then on to the next. They seldom felt like where I belonged. Was it just me? See, I don't trust feelings, so I always have to check myself and everything involved. It wasn't just me. It has been the thing that simmered under the surface since 1969, the last of the transformative civil rights years, and the year I was born. It was there through my teen years in the 80s when a white boy shouted the N word at me from a passing car as I waited for the bus. It was there when we couldn't see black music videos on MTV, but found them on Soul Beat. It was there during the Rodney King beating, the year my first child was born. It was there when Trayvon Martin was murdered, the year I had my third child. It steamed down my neck in 2020 when my granddaughters were born. The lid may have seemed sealed during the 4 years that followed the end of the first assault, but it was only building pressure. Now it's back and boiling over. It is ripping people from the streets and their jobs, echoing the kind of authoritarianism our nameless leader once praised in El Salvador, where dissent is met with prison, and here with pink slips and public erasure. We are barely outside of the first 100 days, and I am looking around at us all hoping we can keep the lid from being blown completely off. If we don't name what's bubbling beneath, it won't just scald, it will consume. So I ask you, will you allow your persona to be locked in a dream-induced sleeper hold? As in American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin, which is a poem written by Terrance Hayes, where he goes on to say, while your better selves watch from the bleachers. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks so much for listening to Prompt Responses. If something in this episode stirred something in you, I'm glad. These reflections are just a way of making sense of the world, one prompt at a time. I'm Shonda Renee, and you can find more over on this side of the apple. Until next time, take good care of yourself.